today I have with me a special guest that flew in all the way from America. We got Miss Charmine from Atlanta, Georgia here with us. You want to say hey to everybody?
Hello, everyone.
And we got my special friend and guest, Dre McCray, who's the founder of Home Bodies, Innovative Solutions, Rapid Results to get you any type of business loan or home loan that you need. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about should successful men date women that have kids. And now we have a woman with us today because I know a lot of y'all always say y'all guys keep talking, you need a woman to rebuttal. So we got that for you today. We listen to you. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. And Mr. Dre, what you think about it?
Well, I think, all circumstances are different. However, it really doesn't benefit a man to date a single mother. The reason being is everything falls on the man to be the provider and the protector. And what the woman brings to the table is an extra body, extra responsibility, and there's just no benefit because even though you may embrace them as, one of yours at any given point in time, a woman can say, it's over, I'm out, and all that bonding you did is over with. So just in general, it doesn't make sense to date a woman with a child.
Yeah. Charmaine?
Well, I make a difference because when you meet the woman, she tells you she has kids. So then if you continue to see her, start dating her, you're accepting her kids because they're a part of her.
But how does that benefit the man?
So
That's benefiting her.
is it supposed to be about money or is it supposed to be about love or building?
You still haven't answered the question. How does it benefit the man? Because no one gets together, love doesn't pay the bills. Love doesn't make the companionship. Love is a component, but it isn't the only component. And at the end of the day, children grow up and leave. And even when they're your own kids, many of your own kids, they don't even appreciate what you do for them, as you raise them. And once they get older, they leave, they barely call. This is just, a normal thing that happens. But again, how does it benefit the man that he should date a single mother and provide for their kid? What benefit is it to him?
I think when you take on the mother, you take on as a whole. So you take on her kids, and you take on being the man of your house, and that includes providing for your family.
You still ain't gave my answer though.
Because there is no answer. There is no answer.
My thing is that if you choose to date a woman that has kids, you're taking on the responsibility of her kids as well as her. So whatever comes with the relationship, however it goes, however it mounts, whatever happens in the relationship, that's just a part of life and just a part of living to me.
Well, let me say this. Let me interject this. Because I've been over here. I recently got back on the dating scene. And it's a lot of women over here that got kids, multiple kids. And I've had a chance to experience this. And just from my experience, the woman wants you to take care of her, take care of the kids, take care of the family, want you to bond with the kids. You got to help the kids with this. You got to go to the kids' game. And the man is taking on such a burden. But when I asked a woman, and I even asked her, I'm like, well, what am I getting out this deal? Because I'm feeling drained. You ain't got enough time for me. It's always about the kids and your family. Then you still want me to pay for these kids that ain't mine. So that's why, as a man, and a lot of men go through this in America and DR all over the world, what does a successful man get out of dating a woman that got one or two kids? Because a lot of times, the kids grow up, they don't even know that you as their father, but you don't took care of them all these years. Most marriages end in divorce. So when a man get with that woman, like you said, and he's taking care of that woman and that child, 50% is the divorce rate in America, and maybe over here, I'm not sure, but The man is taking a chance of taking care of that woman and those kids for all these years, just for the woman to divorce him. Then maybe take half of his stuff, but we ain't gonna talk about the woman and the divorce. But he don't took care of those kids, and those kids are not even his. And even if they break up, she take the kids with her and don't even want the man to see the kids anymore. So that's why we're asking the question, what does the man benefit from dating a woman with multiple kids? Because me, myself, after this experience of dating over here, I said I don't want to date a woman with multiple kids. I really don't even want to date a woman with one kid if she don't have the time to put into meat in a relationship. So we steady asking the question, but Dre's not getting the answer. So go ahead.
I mean, because I'm a woman, I just feel like when I had my kids were small and I started a relationship with a man, he was supposed to take on my kids as well as me. And whatever happens with the relationship with the kids, it's just, we're gonna have to just live through it.
So that's the brainwashing that we got growing up in America. That's the brainwashing. Hey, it's a package deal, but really it's not. It's really a relationships between the two adults. That's what it is. Now, the kids are there. The kids are not the man's responsibility. The kids are the father of them, and the mother of them is their responsibility. So if the father's not involved in their lives, so someone else has to come in and take up and take over because of a bad decision that a woman made with this guy. You know what I mean? And that's not fair to him. Now, a relationship can happen with, a woman with kids, but you have to set the parameters from the beginning. And even though I say there's no benefit, if you look at it on a whole, I'm gonna give you an example. Because I actually my girlfriend does have a child. But why did I take on that responsibility? I didn't take on the responsibility. I entered into an agreement with her, and we both understand and we both agree to this. I have a young daughter, and she has a young daughter around the same age. So for me, it made sense because the kids have someone to interact with and play with and grow up with. So it made sense for me. The benefit was, okay, she has a daughter, I have a daughter around the same age, so they can interact with each other. So that made sense. However, we talked about this from the beginning, and it's very clear I'm not responsible for her child. Her child has a father, and she spends time with her father. Her father's responsible. She's not responsible for my daughter. I'm responsible for my daughter. However, that doesn't mean that we're in the house, we buy groceries, everyone's eating. We go out to eat, everyone's gonna eat. I'm not gonna say, hey, you buy for yours, I'm buying for mine. No, it doesn't work like that. But in the scheme of the responsibilities for her daughter, school, clothes, all of that, that's not my responsibility. That's her. She works, father works, that's their responsibility. And the same on my end. So there is a way, if people are not in the wrong frame of mind, saying, hey, you're responsible for my kid. Because at the end of the day, as I said, the kids are gonna get older and they're gonna leave. But me and her are gonna maintain our relationship. So that makes sense in that context. But in the context in the US, it's generally, oh, we're a package deal, you gotta be responsible for my kid. And that doesn't work, and that's why a lot of men just don't even want to deal with it at all.
Well, I kind of agree. I mean, having this experience, I mean, over here, a lot of the ladies over here got multiple kids, and they want you to take care of the kids and the mom and dad and sister and brother too over here. But, I ain't with that. So for me, being a successful man with a lot of time, it just really doesn't make sense to me. I want somebody who's free like me, who can travel, who can invest time in me as I'm investing in him. And them, I didn't come over here to be a stepdad to nobody else's kids and take on another headache and responsibility. I hate to say it like that, but would you like to give your thoughts on it?
I mean, well, as Dre said, to me, he's still taking on some type of responsibility because the child is still living up under his roof. But they have an agreement and an understanding. And that's mostly how it goes in the real world, is that I bring my kids in, they still have their father, we maintain a household together.
That ain't how it go. Oh, we'll go ahead. That ain't maybe how it go.
That's maybe how it
No,
goes.
that's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
To me, it is.
No one in the U.S. When you take it, like you said before, it's a package deal. When you take on the kids, it's yours. When there's food, clothes to be bought, clothes are bought. When there's money to be spent, it's spent on all of them holistically. For example, I just took my kids to the U.S., you know what I mean, on vacation. That's my kids. That's my responsibility. She's with her child, you know what I'm saying? Her child went to visit with her father, you know what I mean? So there's a separation, there's a difference, there's nuances to it.
I don't think she understands the way you got your whole house up set up. I do because me and you talk. But the way you got your household set up with, I guess, your significant other and her child, I could probably enter into an agreement like that with a woman.
But the key is you have to set the expectations from the beginning.
Right.
And stand 10 toes down on it throughout, because it could easily morph into something different. Because if you have simp behavior, it'll morph into something different.
Right.
But I don't have that, so it remains the same. But also the quality of the person I'm with, she has those same characteristics as me and has that same understanding. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I say every situation is different, but in a whole, it doesn't benefit. How did this benefit me? It benefited because, as a man, she moved in with me. You know what I mean? And before she was here, I paid the bills. But when she came in, she contributed to the household. It wasn't, hey, you're the man, but she's not contributing what I contribute. So therefore, she does other things to make up the difference. The house, the cleaning, the cooking, and all of that. So you just gotta be fair. And I think the problem with men and women is a lot of women don't want to be fair. They want everything and don't give a lot.
I think they feel entitled for some reason. You should ask for that entitlement from the guy you got knocked up from,
Exactly.
and not the new guy that's coming in. He's entitled to you because you got kids with him, not the new guy. The new guy shouldn't come in and get all that pressure put on him because the other guy left and stepped out. Do you think that's fair?
I mean, I think that's the quality of the woman that you're seeing.
Exactly.
Because I was married and I had kids that I brought into the marriage, and my ex-husband had kids that brought into the marriage. But our household was ran sort of like Dre said his. It was my house. He came in. We paid bills together. There are certain things that I did for my kids because they were my kids.
Right.
And certain things he did for his kids because they were his kids.
Exactly.
But it never caused a different or issue because we maintain everything still together. But there's things that I know that these are my kids.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do for my kids.
Right.
But not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that it worked and we had no issues about that.
Right. You had, it seems like you had clear communication.
Yes.
And like I said, it's the quality of the woman, which is few and far between. You know what I mean? That most women, or at least the ones who are the loudest, are out here like, do everything for me and my kids and that's it. You know what I mean? But again, if you find a quality woman who understands and they're not trying to take from you, it can work.
Yeah, what I mean.
Exactly.
It's a needle in the haystack, bro.
Well, I don't want you to get off the hook. You still ain't gave us one benefit of how the man benefits from these relationships.
I mean, I don't see how you can break it down to how you can say I'm benefiting from this and I'm not benefiting.
Oh, let me help you break it down.
I mean, because
Okay.
it's got to be a way you set the foundation for the relationship, and that's how it's going to grow. That's the direction it's going to go in. You're gonna, so you're gonna have to set your boundaries, your guidelines, what you want, what you're looking for, and if that's not what you want or you're looking for, then that's not the person for you. So what you sound like is you making a person, the person that you're dating, you want that to be the person for you, but you've seen all the flags that you're different. It's not going to work.
Exactly. But you still ain't gave an answer. It's millions of men out here going through this, and you haven't gave one answer to how, or one solution to how it benefits that successful man by being in that situation.
It doesn't, because he put himself in that situation. That's where I'm going with you.
Exactly. You said it
There's
doesn't.
100
That's the whole
100
point.
women
It
out
doesn't.
there.
That's the whole point we was getting to.
And that's what I'm trying to say. But it's 100 women out here. You have multiple to choose from. So if you choose this woman that has these kids, and
So you getting worked up now, Dre. You finna see the real Dre.
and you feel like you're giving more than you're receiving, then why are you in that relationship?
And that's why I'm not in those relationships.
Now, let me ask you, do you see any benefit to a man seeing a woman with kids?
I would say yes, and I'll tell you why. Because say if you meet a woman, she has one kid, and I actually dated a woman that has one kid, and he was like 14, and it actually allowed the woman to kind of be able to move a little more freer because he was a teenager. Me and him kind of bonded. We played basketball together. I was maybe able to instill some things in him, and it was a nice pairing per se. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't bad. He was actually for me. He was cool. Now, in a situation where the woman is kind of holding her own, I don't mind helping a woman at all. But I'm just saying, I shouldn't be put in a position to take on all the responsibilities financially, protective, mentally, spiritually, and that young child has a father. I shouldn't have to pay all the bills for him and her because he's supposed to be contributing or paying child support to help that household as well. So I do see some benefits in it that you can have a relationship with a child and instill some values into a child and help a child, and also help and grow and bond with that woman and have some companionship. If there's peace in the house, if it's worked out, if everybody's putting into the relationship equally, not necessarily financially. See, I know a woman can't basically match me financially, but the way she matches me is with her companionship, her time, the interest that she put into me, the cooking, the cleaning, the traveling with me, making me feel special. That makes up for the money and all the other things. So a woman can bring a lot of value, but I think like you were saying, it's the quality of the woman. And the woman, the same way the man has to do everything for her and the kids, the woman has to do something to make that man feel, what's the right word for it? Make him feel worthy or validated for everything he's putting out for her and her kid, I think.
Now, let me ask you this. Since you broke up, have you ever seen the kid again?
No.
Take
No. And also, when I tried to go up there and see her, the little boy tried to run up to me and grab on me and jump on me the way he always do. She pulled him back and stopped him.
That's the point. That's the point. That's what happens. So I just, after just, talking it out, I think the benefit that you possibly can get will really depend on the woman, and if she brings some substance to the relationship, I think the benefits that you can get without the child. But for me, the benefit I get isn't a benefit actually for me. It's actually for my daughter.
That's what you're saying.
Which for me is beneficial, because that gives her something that she needs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the director said, can you look into the camera? when you talk?
So I just think that you have to look and see how it will benefit. But you have to search. You see how when you're talking, you're like, well, it's about the kid and feeding into the kid, and that makes me feel good. But you have to search for a benefit. It's not directly benefiting you.
Right.
You see what I mean? So I think that's the issue. If you don't have a kid, or your kids are grown or whatever, it's very difficult to find the benefit. You know what I mean? It's difficult to find the benefit. However, if you can see beyond, an actual benefit that's like, yes, this is what I'm getting because of this. Because there's a lot of negatives that go with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially the relationships with the father, how often he's around, this and that. It's a lot.
He's still trying to get back with her.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dynamics.
We ain't even touched that.
It's a whole nother podcast.
But yeah, I had some issues with one young lady, baby daddy. He came to my place.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pulled up at my house outside, video camera sent it to her. He outside at my place. I'm like, what the world? She called the police. She had to call the police just to go out her car, go out my door to get in her car. But he pulled up at my house. See, women don't look at all the things men have to go through just dating you and your kids.
Yeah.
It's way more than just the money or the time. It's the harassment maybe from people on the outside.
Yes. It's a lot of factors that go into it. But as Charmaine said, these are things you need to discuss before you make that decision to get into a relationship.
Well, how can you discuss this? Another nigga go pull up to your house.
Hey, is another nigga? What's up with you and that? Yo, you got that? What's up with you and that baby daddy? You still hitting that, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, see, that's another thing. People are afraid. Here's one of the issues. Why these things go further than they should. People are afraid to ask questions. Ask the real questions because the feeling of loss. A lot of men like, oh, well, a lot of men don't have the options that women have. So when they are, involved with someone, they're like, hey, I'm trying to hold on, this is why how sometimes they get caught up. Because they don't have a lot of options, they accept some of these things and it doesn't benefit them, but they don't want to discuss these things until down the line. And you gotta step up and ask the hard questions.
And even though you ask the question, you don't still know if a nigga finna pop up at your door.
No, you do know because, like, for example, I asked, hey, what's up with the child's father? Oh, he paid child support? He helped me taking care of the kid? Because I'm not. You know what I mean? These are questions I asked from the beginning. Hey, I want somebody who's gonna be with me for me. I'm not the walking ATM machine. You know what I'm saying? So if you discuss these things and how it's gonna be up front, if it's acceptable to them and acceptable to you, then you don't waste each other's time. Because and it's really like, what's your intention as well? Are you planning on being with this person? Are you going to date this person with intention to have a long-term relationship, possibly get married? Excuse me. Or are you just trying to get something to hit or pass the summer through or whatever? So it's also about you and what you're looking for. Because if you're in it for the long run and you don't ask these questions, you're going to have a problem. And I asked the question. I asked the hard questions from the beginning.
I asked them, but that don't necessarily mean the woman gonna be truthful to you, and she can't tell the future.
You don't ask them.
I do ask. How you gonna say I don't ask?
Because when you know why.
I know something you don't do either. You don't keep this damn air conditioner on. You knew we were coming over here.
It's on.
Man, we bunched up in here.
In your house. With it on is burning up.
No, we had But we gonna let Charmine comment a little bit.
Go ahead.
On the comments you heard today. What you thinking?
Well, I think when you start dating someone and you start spending time with them and you start getting to know them, then you will start picking up on different things, like how often the baby daddy is coming around. You know, have you met the baby daddy? Because I say when someone acts out in a relationship, it's because there's still feelings there.
Yeah.
So
what do you know about their relationship?
So basically you're saying it ain't a good reason, it ain't good to date women with kids.
No, I'm not saying it's not good to date, not good not to date a woman with kids. I'm saying you have to take time to get to know the person. And as you get to know someone, you'll start picking up on things. Like you pick up on like, how often do your baby daddy come pick up the kids? You know, what have your baby daddy, does he contribute financially for the kids? Why haven't I met your baby daddy?
I don't want to go through none of that.
Well, and you know, for me, when I separated from my ex, I didn't want to be dude.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I have never met him, and it's been years. You know, and she's never met my girl, and it's been, you know, since a good amount of time. But that's because me and her, when we separated, we cool, we co-parent great. You know what I mean? But we're not interested in each other.
That's the key.
You know what I'm saying? We're not interested in each other.
Because the drama comes when there's someone
Exactly.
interested in the other person.
Exactly. And, you know, it's a respectful thing. Like, if you don't understand boundaries, if you don't understand how to communicate, you're going to have problems or you're going to get taken advantage of. You know what I mean? But again, on a whole, the totality of it all, there really isn't a lot of benefit.
It really ain't.
But,
and it's not a lot of worthy women to try to go and see if it's a benefit.
but when you are a stable man and you're emotionally intelligent, you understand the complexities of it and the nuances. Like a lot of men, like, oh, I'm done. I ain't never gonna be with. Not me. I'm gonna be with a woman. I don't know what you talking about. I'm not gonna be running in the street paying no $40 here and there.
For the law, ain't bad.
It is very low. But but my point being is that ain't what I want for my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't what I want my children to see. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I want my children to see me in a stable relationship. They see their mother in a stable relationship. You know what I mean? Although, you know, I don't, whether I approve or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But as long as I know when they're there, they're safe and good, and I'm not hearing no negative, I'm good. I don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I want to be the for life. You know what I'm saying? That when they're with him, she's responsible. When they're with me, I'm responsible. And that's how we rock. You know
Well,
what I'm
let's
saying?
take a vote then. I vote no that successful men shouldn't date women with multiple kids or one kid just for the sanity of him, and he's not gonna get a lot of benefits. What's your vote, Charmaine?
I vote that you should date whoever you choose, and I think you should have a best friend and then a lover. So you should get to know the person. Know this is what if y'all have some interest, and if you want to take on the responsibility of
Yeah,
the
but
relationship.
earlier in the show you said no, and you didn't give one reason why a man should be with her. After 20 minutes you ain't said one good thing of why a man should be with a woman with kids. A successful man should be with a woman with kids. You ain't said that. Well, go ahead and cast your vote, baby.
I mean, because to me, as a woman, when you take me, you take on my kids, and whatever happens after that happens.
That's why there's a lot of single women that got kids. A lot of single women got kids here in America and in the DR.
Because if a man knows that he doesn't want a woman with kids, then he knew when he came to me, he asked me, do you have kids? I said, yes. So he should have.
But that ain't necessarily true, because I would say this. I've been in a long relationship about 16, 17 years. And that's why I say jumping back out here dating, I'm not used to dating a woman with kids because I was in that relationship so long.
Right.
So how am I supposed to know when I'm finna expect by dating this woman that got kids? A lot of men may have situations where they don't know, like I didn't know until I found out the hard way. So that was just kind of a rebuttal what you said.
But I told
you. You told me a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna go on record and say Dre has warned me about a lot of different things, and about 95% of the time, he's been absolutely right. Dealing with relationships and women. He met some of my friends and he told me straight from the door. I didn't want to listen to him, but he was absolutely right. I ain't gonna be like him. He'll never like tell me when I'm right though. But
I'm still waiting.
But he was right, and you know we have to learn from our mistakes. And I'm not saying it was a mistake, but you know I'll just leave it at that. But what's your vote, Trey?
My vote is. What are we voting on?
Should successful men date women with kids?
My vote has to be it depends.
You told me no.
I did tell you.
He told me no multiple times.
Yeah, I'll say it this way. If I had to go with the percentages, I would say no. But this is like an 80-20 situation. There's 20% of the time where it makes sense. Like for example, I was watching James Harden on this Starting Five on Netflix. And you know who James Harden is?
Yeah, the basketball player.
Yeah, basketball player. So James Harden has been in a relationship for a year now. And the woman he's with has a 10-year-old boy. But James Harden has a 10-year-old boy as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's similar to my situation. It makes sense for him.
Right.
You know, and he even said, he was like, when I was 23, 24, I'm not dating no woman with no kid. You know, and that's the mindset you should go into any situation with. If you're a single man and there really is no benefit for you, but as I said, I have a daughter. She had a daughter. It made sense for me because at first I was still like, I'm not dating a woman with kids because I don't want that responsibility. But then when I started thinking about it, this really isn't for me. It affects my daughter, my son. You know, it affects them as well. So then I didn't mind one. You know what I mean?
One, maybe. Possibility. And
again, it depends on the child. Are they well mannered?
Right.
Are they, respectful?
But these women don't mean to cut you out. These women think you're supposed to take them their badass kids,
and you can't
jumping on your front,
discipline them
on your walls. You can't discipline them.
And the other part of it is that makes it difficult is this: is for a woman, the kids come first. So it's the kids, then it's her, then it's you. So
no, it's the kids, then it's her, then it's her job, then it's her family, then it's you.
Whatever it is, you're at the bottom of the pack.
Right.
See, you're at the bottom of the pack.
But you still got to pay all the bills.
But your money's at the front of the pack.
Right. Preach.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
They want your money to be at the front of the pack,
right,
at the top of the class, but you're at the bottom.
Right.
And that's why, you just got to be smart out here. And again, getting a quality woman who's like, see, a lot of people, women throw this word around like, I'm independent a lot. But they're really not. They're dependent.
Damn.
Because they're like, oh, I don't want no roommate if I'm paying 50-50. But you're independent. Why do you need... I'm supposed to be there for your companionship, to grow together, they putting the money up front. But again, pay the money. You're in the third, fourth position. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I've been through it.
It doesn't make sense. That's why it's hard to say it's an 80-20 issue. And 80% of the time, it's a no. 20% of the time, it might even be a 90-10 issue.
I think it's a 90-10.
Yeah, it might even be a 90-10. 90% of the time, it's a no. 10%, if it makes sense and it's a quality woman,
Right.
you say yes. Because a woman is not going to take on, if the roles are reversed, a woman isn't going to take on the responsibility of paying for your children. You can't go to a woman and say, hey, it's a package deal. You know?
I think it's.
Tell them your story if you want to.
Is and how the woman feels about her man. Because if I love my man and he has kids, I know those kids come with my man. So I'm going to help him provide for the kids as well.
But are you willing to take that third, fourth, fifth position in the relationship? If the man is like, my kids come first, I come second, are you willing to take that third, fourth, fifth position?
Not if I'm helping take care of these kids,
You see
and
what I
I'm
mean?
helping cleaning up, I'm cooking, I'm doing all these things with these kids.
But that's what I'm saying. A man, regardless of what he's doing, is placed in that third, fourth, fifth position.
Right.
Regardless if he's paying all the bills, going to work, doing everything, he's still in that fourth.
Well, there is some exceptions.
But like I said,
like
this
you
is
said,
a 90-10.
90-10.
If you get a quality woman, and those are few and far between.
Right.
But if you get, and I feel lucky because it's like I found a quality woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you've seen it. You've seen it. I found the needle in the haystack. You know
Ain't no more needles?
It's a haystack. But you know, when you find that, then you appreciate it. And I told you, I mean, we've talked about different things about the laws here, and
Right.
even living together, whatever. But when you find a good woman, you don't care about those things. You're like, yeah, I'll marry her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because she's a good woman. Is she perfect?
You heard him now. He said he gonna marry
I
her.
will marry her. Is she a good? Is she perfect? Hell no. Far from it. But again, if you use that 80-20 around, she got 80%.
Man, I'll take a 30-70 right now. Maybe even 60-40.
She got 80% of the things I like and 20%. And the same with her. It's 20% of the things she don't like about me.
Right.
But if we can communicate and get past the little things, everything works itself out.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap up. It may be a part 2. I thought I was gonna have to ring the bell, but they acting all good right now. When I'm one-on-one with them, it's sparks flying. Now they acting all good.